So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this, our Seroptimus International Foundation Day. The Seroptimus International Foundation has recently established so that Seroptimus International can conduct projects that fall within its theme of educate, empower, and enable women and girls around the world. Visible and Vocal is one of those projects because you and I know that education is one of the best weapons with which we can reduce poverty, increase our health and well-being, strive for progress towards gender equality, being able to enjoy peace and security, and working to ensure that all women enjoy their human rights. Today is also the International Day of Human Rights, so what better way to celebrate this than to listen to these 10 and 11-year-olds advocating on the issues that affect many around the globe. This competition seeks to highlight these young ladies, and we must listen to what they have to say because they are our future, and we need to encourage and support them in whatever way we can. It is being organised in conjunction with the Commonwealth Business Women's Network today, and today we will listen to Joseph Kambasi, First Councillor, Rwanda High Commission in London, and Frida Merkel's Chair of CBWN. Following this, Arab Salman, CEO of CBWN, will give us a brief overview of how the competition will be run, and Sue Williams, Seroptimus International, will introduce each of our speakers. We have all our speakers and videos, but I'm hoping that they're here, present at the event, and when Sue calls out their name, that they will unmute themselves and say hello to us. However, we cannot have a competition and have no judges, so I am delighted that three ladies have given of their time to judge our competition. So when I call out your name, would you mind giving a wave, please? May I introduce Helen Jones, MBE, who has had an extensive career in international youth development and non-formal education, including Head of Programmes and Director of Youth Affairs at the Royal Commonwealth Society and Deputy Chief Executive at the Commonwealth Youth Exchange Council. Sinead Lunny is Managing Director of Vocalis, a voice and communication skills company. She also runs an award-winning 200-strong speech and drama school, as well as being an actor, voice-over artist, event host, and keynote speaker. Sinead has always had a passion for voice and communication and holds associate diplomas from New Era Academy London in public speaking and acting. And Sue Young-Galinga, the current SI President-elect. A Seroptimus since 2004, she will take over the SI presidency in 2024-2025. During her time as Federation President of Southwest Pacific in 2012-2014, she initiated Walk the Talk, Stop Violence Against Women, with an exemplary 16 days of activism walk throughout Malaysia. She was selected as one of 14 women who are included in the book Reflections of Pioneer Malaysian Trailblazers, launched last year. I'm now going to hand over to Joseph, who will say a few words, and then we will hear from Frida via video, as she's currently travelling for her work. Before finishing, may I wish our competitors all the very best for the competition. I know that all of you are already winners, so good luck, everybody.
Thank you so
Joseph,
much.
the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you so much. Good morning, ladies. I can't see gentlemen around, but I know there are some behind, and I'd like to say good morning to you all. Thank you, Maureen, for the brief introduction. My name is Joseph Kabacheza. I'm a senior diplomat at the High Commission of Rwanda. I'm based here in London. And for information, I'm a father of 3 daughters, 14, 12, and 8, which fits well in the age group we are speaking to. And for those of you who may want to know more about Rwanda and the Commonwealth, today we are the bosses. We are the chair in the office of the Commonwealth. So Rwanda is in the office of the Commonwealth since...
vengo. Sí.
Sorry?
Go ahead, Joseph.
Okay, thank you. I was saying that Rwanda is the chair of the Commonwealth. Commonwealth is composed of 56 countries now, and my president is the chair in office, and that is since 2022 when we hosted the Commonwealth heads of government in Kigali, Rwanda. Kigali is the capital of Rwanda. And well, it was an exciting moment. Many of you missed. And I'm glad to see that we have participants from many Commonwealth countries. And I look forward to seeing even many more from the all Commonwealth countries. And allow me to begin by thanking Solar Optimist International and the Commonwealth Business Women's Network, particularly my good friend Alf Zamani, for giving me this opportunity to be part of this noble event and open this webinar, but also share some insights from Rwanda. Wouldn't you want to hear that? Thank you both. Solar Optimist and the Commonwealth Business Forum for coming together, working together to create a complete and a strong, independent, economically productive woman. When you look at what Solar Optimist does and what the Commonwealth Women's Network do, the Business Women's Network do, it is the complementarity really is aimed at creating this strong economically and politically composed women. And we are glad to see the big number of participants here. I take the opportunity to thank the competitors. Wow, for accepting to take on the challenge. You know, that is the first stage of winning. If you think I can take on this challenge, you have won in the first stage. And surely there is never a failure. You may miss out on this, but you will never fail. You have a lot of potentials in you. And I'm delighted to see that we have participants from all over the world. And I saw some people from Rwanda. I can say muraho neza for those who hear me from Rwanda. And just as a very small and a brief insight on Rwanda. You know, I can say the Rwandan leadership did what I can call smart economics. What is that smart economics? This smart economics is nothing else but investing in women and girls. And the leadership understood that, you know, in its struggle to development, it doesn't need these muscle strengths. No, we need mind strength. And guess what? Women and the girls are very good at this, and they can compete more favorably than men. In Rwanda, women occupy very, very important positions. And ever since they started to take up these positions, we have seen really a great transformation in Rwanda. For example, for the last decade, for the last 10 years, when women have been at the forefront of development, the country has been developing at a rate of 8% every year. Thanks to who? Thanks to the involvement of women. So the opposite of smart economics would be leaving out women. So if you leave out women, just understand you are not doing smart economics. Our parliament today stands number one. The Rwandan parliament stands number one in the percentage of women in the parliament. We have 61.3% of our parliamentarians are women, and the president of the parliament herself is a woman. You know, this is the lawmaking institution of the country, and that's where everything starts. You know, everything starts with acting laws that empower women and girls. And, you know, having this number of women in the parliament, be sure you will never miss out on policies and laws that really promote women. We also have women in very important positions in the country. For example, we have women ministers, our cabinet actually, which is a cabinet of ministers, about 27 of them. We have almost 50% are women in key ministries. Our minister for ICT is a woman. We have women ministers in finance. We have women ministers in education. We have women ministers in infrastructure. We have women ministers in different positions, very key important positions. And for your information, some of you may know about Rwandair. Rwandair is the national carrier of Rwanda. The head, the CEO, is a woman. And this woman is the chair of the board of EATA. You know, that is the entire board I don't know, of flights and related institutions. She is the chair of the board. So this gives you a picture of the position that women take in Rwanda, and also understanding how Rwanda has been progressing in its way to development. It gives you a picture of what women can do, and it also tells you what you will miss out when you don't involve women and girls.
Thank you, Joseph. That is wonderful. That's just the words that we really, really want to hear.
Thank
So
you.
can I say thank you very much for coming along this morning and for speaking. I'm now
Thank you so
just going to
much.
share my screen and we will hear from Frida.
Hi everyone, just wanted to hop on and tell you all how thrilled CBWN is to be working with Optimus International in delivering this rather cool new speaking competition for young girls. You know, we really hope that you've enjoyed Visible and Vocal, because what we've tried to do is to make it a fun program, allowing you to compete internationally on a whole variety of topics, designed to really get you to be talking about creating a better world. Because you know what, if one thing is for certain, the Commonwealth, indeed if not the world, really needs strong, impactful leaders, and we see no better investment than in you. So look, we're really proud of all of you for giving this competition a go and for making the decision just to be part of the process. And just by doing that makes each and every one of you in our eyes a winner. So good luck, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you on the advocacy trail. Good luck. Bye.
Can I now ask Orif to come on, please? Arif, are you going to tell us how the competition will work?
Yeah, sure. So I'm delighted to be with you. My name is Arif Zaman, and I'm the executive director of the Commonwealth Business Women's Network. So just some brief background on the competition. We felt it was very important, the Commonwealth Business Women's Network, and you've just heard from Frida Merkelis, our chair, following those very inspirational words from Joseph from the Rwanda High Commission. We felt it was very important to work together with one of the leading organizations in the Commonwealth family that brings together women from right across so many countries. I think some 118 countries, of which there are some 38 in the Commonwealth. So we've come together with them, and the competition is really focused on what we call vocal and visible. So open to girls who are aged 10 or 11. And a number of questions which we've asked them to do, to give short speeches, a maximum of 3 or 4 minutes, addressing a number of key question areas, which I'll just briefly outline what they are. The first of those was we asked them to say that as girls, what can we do to address climate change? I just come myself from the United Nations meeting in Dubai, the COP28 meeting as it's called, and there's a lot of energy and passion around that, but also a lot of focus around the impact, particularly on girls and the women. The second area was the other topic was what changes could households make to address the increased cost of living, which could be more widely adopted by others. Again, a very real issue which many countries are experiencing. The third was how do we end all forms of discrimination against girls? The fourth topic was what are the barriers as a girl to achieving your career aspirations? The fifth was what steps should your community take to combat bullying? We know that can be a real challenge. And then number six, the sixth topic was which 3 values or principles in the Commonwealth Charter do you think are the most important and why? This was when Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II came in person to Marlborough House, and she signed in 2012 the Commonwealth Charter, which was bringing together, really setting out the sort of values of the Commonwealth and we wanted to focus on that as well. So that's what we've asked people to do, and I'm so pleased that we've got a number of adjudicators with us today who will be considering a number of factors. They'll be looking at the content of the presentations, considering areas such as the relevance of the materials, the impact of the introduction and conclusion. They'll be also considering presentational skills as well, and we'll be going through and hearing from those presentations. So that's a very brief outline, and we think this is a very important initiative which we would look forward to building on. We believe it's the first time in the history of the Commonwealth there's ever been an international a competition of this kind for girls of 10 or 11, where we've been inspired by Croydon, Sir Optimus Croydon, who have been working for some years on Loud and Proud, which is the kind of genesis of this competition. I myself have seen the power of this from my own daughter, who's now 12 and she was 10, who participated in this. So I can personally vouch for the power of such a competition such as this. And I'm delighted that working with Pat from Sir Optimus International, Pat Dale, we've been able to bring this to this point today. So I'll pass Maureen back to you, and I hope that's been helpful at this stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Arif. I'm going to now share the screen, and then I'm going to ask Sue Williams to come on and introduce our first speaker.
Good morning, everyone, and our speakers today are all finalists in their own countries, and we're very pleased to welcome them. The first finalist is Karamoko Shanika, who is from Côte d'Ivoire, and her speech is about how do we end all forms of discrimination against girls. So over to Shanika.
Bonjour chers téléspectateurs et bienvenue sur la chaîne JSCDI. Aujourd'hui, nous allons parler de la discrimination à l'encontre des filles. Comment mettre fin à toute forme de discrimination à l'encontre des filles? D'abord, qu'est-ce que la discrimination? La discrimination est le fait de repousser une personne ou un groupe de personnes à cause de sa situation sociale, son sexe, sa race ou sa langue. Pour mettre fin à cela, nous devons sensibiliser sur la discrimination et ses conséquences, afin d'adopter et appliquer des lois à ce sujet et rendre la justice et certains métiers accessibles à tous. Merci, c'était tout pour aujourd'hui.
Do you want to introduce the second one?
I do. Thank you very much for that. The second speaker that we've got, our second finalist, is Gail, and she is from Rwanda. And the topic of her conversation today is, what are the barriers as a girl to achieving your career aspirations?
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, imagine a world where girls are free to dream big and pursue any career they desire without being held back by gender stereotypes or limited opportunities. That world is not just a dream, it's a reality we can create together. Today, I stand before you to speak about the barriers that girls face in achieving their career aspirations. These barriers are real, they are pervasive, and they have a devastating impact on the lives of millions of girls around the world. But I'm not here to talk about the problems. I'm here to talk about the solutions. I believe that you can dismantle these barriers and empower girls to reach their full potential. I am Gael from Rwanda, and my topic is empowering girls' career aspirations by dismantling barriers and unleashing potential. In today's dynamic and interconnected world, empowering girls to pursue their career aspirations is not merely a matter of social justice. It is an imperative for driving innovation, fostering economic growth, and shaping a more equitable and prosperous future for all. Yet, despite significant progress in gender equality, girls continue to face formidable barriers in navigating their career path. From deeply ingrained gender stereotypes to limited access to opportunities and resources, these obstacles hinder girls from realizing their full potential and contributing meaningfully to society. It is time to break down these barriers and empower girls to achieve their career aspirations. The prevalence of gender stereotypes. Gender stereotypes from early childhood confine girls to traditional roles, discouraging them from pursuing STEM and leadership careers. This limits the opportunities and perpetuates gender inequality. The impact of limited access to education and resources. Girls often lack access to education and resources, limiting their career prospects. This lack of education perpetuates the cycle of poverty, as girls who are not educated are more likely to marry early and have children. Additionally, girls may lack access to mentorship programs, networking opportunities, and financial support, further disadvantaging them in their career pursuit. A multi-pronged approach empowers girls. To dismantle these barriers and empower girls to achieve their career aspirations, we must embark on a multi-pronged approach that addresses the root causes of gender inequality and provides girls with the support they need to thrive. Number 1, challenging and dismantling gender stereotypes. To combat gender stereotypes, we must challenge them early on, fostering a culture that encourages girls' exploration and dream pursuit. This includes challenging stereotypes in education, media, and daily interactions. By exposing girls to positive female role models and encouraging passion pursuit, we can break down traditional role barriers. Number 2, ensuring access to quality education. To empower girls, we must provide all girls with quality education free from gender bias and stereotypes. This includes STEM education access, higher education encouragement, and equipping girls with relevant 21st century workforce skills and knowledge. Number 3, creating a supportive environment. To empower girls to pursue non-traditional careers, we must provide access to mentorship, networking, and financial support. But additionally, we must foster supportive school environments that encourage girls' potential and provide them with necessary resources. Ladies and gentlemen, let's unleash the boundless potential of girls. Empowering girls is not just a moral duty. It's an investment in our future. When empowered, girls fuel economic growth, innovation, and social progress. By dismantling barriers, providing equal opportunities, and fostering a supportive environment, we can unleash girls' potential and create a world where they can thrive and shape a brighter future for all. Let's unite, raise our voices, and empower girls to break through barriers and achieve their career aspirations. The time given is highly appreciated.
Sue, would you like to introduce the next contestant?
I would. The next contestant is Stephanie, and she is from the Philippines. And the title of her talk is, As Girls, What Can We Do to Address Climate Change?
Hello everyone, my name is Stephanie Claire from the Philippines, and I'm thrilled to be a part of this competition. Climate change. People are calling it the crisis of our time. And well, it is. But what is climate change? And why is it such a big issue? Based on National Geographic, climate change is a sudden shift or change in our climate patterns. Or in other words, don't you notice one day it could be sunny every now and then, then the next it's pouring? Well, that's climate change. I heard a quote from this Montu too that says, 25 years ago, people could be excused for not knowing much or doing much about climate change. Today, we have no excuse. It's telling us that we could have prevented it before it's too late. But now, climate change is here to haunt us. Based on the quote, we should learn from our past mistakes, because if we do repeat them, it could mean catastrophe, not only in our lifetime, but also the lives of future generations. And we are already getting a taste of it. What's the main issue? It's the greenhouse effect. Gases in our atmosphere, like methane and water vapor, lets the sunlight in, but keep some of that heat from escaping, like the glass walls of a greenhouse. The more greenhouse gases there are, the more heat gets trapped, which in return makes our planet get warmer. But the main issue is not that our planet is getting warmer. No, the main issue is that it's happening far too quickly. We are about 1 degree hotter than pre-industrial times. That was before greenhouse gases made a breakthrough, and we would be fine if we reach 1.5 degrees before the end of the century. But again, the problem is the speed, because we are set to hit 1.5 degrees in only 7 years. There are so many effects and consequences that come with climate change. To our oceans, weather, food supply, and health. Icebergs from Antarctica, Greenland, and more are melting, which causes sea levels to rise and floods coastal regions. A warmer planet means more extreme weathers, like heavy snowfall, storms, and longer, more frequent droughts. Our food supply is in danger because the places where plants and animals thrive shift, and water supplies diminish. Our health is at risk because less food and more extreme weather just means more people would get hurt. Yes, we are the main problem, but together we can become the solution. Let me give you an example. One day, you might have a piece of trash in your hands that you need to throw, but there's no trash can around. You might say, "Oh, it's just one piece of trash. It won't make a difference if I throw it here, right?" Well, we are 8 billion people on this earth. Not only you are saying that as I speak, but millions of other people too. Young as we are, let's be vocal and visible. Let's make a stand, make a difference. Let's build up that passion and how the crisis can be addressed. We can help by not wasting any food that is given to us, because not only will it help combat climate change, it will also be appreciated by whoever made the dish. We can help by planting different plants in our garden. At school, we planted an okra plant, and from what I've learned, not only does it help combat climate change, it also teaches us how interesting the life cycle of plants are. In the end, there's so many more things we can do to combat climate change, but whether we like it or not, we have to change our ways, or climate change will have to do it for us. Thank you.
I just ask everybody to keep muted while the videos are playing. Sue, would you like to introduce our next speaker, please?
I would, and our next speaker is Elsa, and she is from Liechtenstein, and she's going to talk about what changes could households make to address the increased cost of living, which could be more widely adopted by others.
Hello everyone, my name is Elsa, and today I want to talk about some really important things that I think we, as girls, can do to make the world a better place. So you know how the world at the moment is kind of going a little crazy. Well, there are some things us girls and everybody can do to make it better. First, I want to address climate change. The earth gets hotter, and for obvious reasons, it is not good. We can help by doing small things like turning off lights and other electrical appliances when we are not using them, as well as using less plastic. And if we tell our friends and family about it, maybe they will do it too. Then there's this other thing about money and the cost of living. I heard my mum talk about how expensive everything has gotten, from food to electricity and daily things we humans need. But I think if we're smart about it, we can save money by, for example, turning off the TV if no one is watching and eating more healthy home-prepared food rather than buying expensive packaged snacks. It's good for our wallets and the planet. And sometimes people treat us girls and young women differently, and that is not cool. We need to say, hey, we're equal and awesome too. We can be scientists or firefighters or whatever we want. I bet we would be great politicians. It's like, why can't girls do everything boys can do? We just need to keep showing everyone that we are strong and smart, and we deserve the same chances. And you know what? Maybe I want to be a scientist or an astronaut when I grow up. But sometimes people say, no, that is not for girls. Well, that's not true. I can be anything I want to be. So if you want to be a doctor, an architect, or a teacher, You can totally do it. We just have to believe in ourselves and work really hard. The next thing I want to talk about is bullying. It is just the worst. We should not be mean to each other. We should be friends and help each other. If we see someone being bullied, we can tell a grown-up or stand up for each other. We are like a big team, and a team sticks together. Lastly, there's this thing called the Commonwealth Charter. It sounds kind of fancy, but it's like rules for being nice to each other in a bunch of countries. I think it's super important to be fair and listen to each other. It's like when we play games. Everyone has to follow the rules, so it's fair for each other. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. We are all in this together, and we can do really awesome things if we help each other out. Let us be kind and save the planet, and show everyone how amazing us girls can be. Thank you for listening.
Sue, would you like to introduce the next speaker?
I would. The next speaker is Serene, and she is from Pakistan, and she's going to talk about what steps could your community take to combat bullying.
My name is Serene Adnan and I am 11 years old. I am from the city school Mirpur. My topic today is what steps should your community take to combat bullying? First things first, we need to understand what exactly is bullying. When people repeatedly and intentionally say or do things that make someone unhappy and distressed, that's bullying. Before anything else, communities need to raise awareness about bullying. If people don't know about the impact of bullying itself, they won't stop it. Another important thing is to promote open discussions. They can create a supportive environment where people can feel more comfortable and not threatened reporting incidents. Anti-bullying policies are another action we need to take. Schools, workplaces, and community organizations need to not only add in this rule, but also consequences for if it is broken. We as a community need to teach empathy and how to connect with each other, which makes a community more close together. Remember, a compassionate community provides healthy people, whereas a disconnected community not only is divided amongst people, emotional issues take birth, which can lead to bullies and victims of bullying. Another important feature of a compassionate society is inclusivity. Inclusiveness means eliminating discrimination and making everyone feel accepted. Enforcing positivity and celebrating kindness also discourages bullying. The community as a whole should practice continuous evaluation and reward people, workplaces, or schools that practice kindness and inclusivity. Continuous evaluation also helps in adjusting strategies such as this. Thank you.
Sue, will you introduce our next speaker, please?
My name is
I will. Our next speaker is Olivia, and she is from Australia, and the title of her talk is What are the barriers as a girl to achieving your career aspirations?
Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm representing Australia, and my topic is what are the barriers as a girl from achieving your career aspirations? What do you want to be when you grow up? We've all heard that question before. My 5-year-old self used to say, princess. 8-year-old me would have said animal doctor. But now I say, head choreographer and CEO of the Sydney Dance Company. But hang on, you're telling me that's not possible? I can't, because I'm a girl? That's ridiculous. But it would seem that there are barriers that would stop me, as a girl, from achieving my dream. One example is the glass ceiling. The Oxford Dictionary describes this as a metaphorical barrier that prevents a woman from advancing beyond a certain level at a company due to biases against women. This creates a lack of representation for women and a lack of diversity in leadership roles. You may have heard about the glass ceiling, but have you heard about the glass cliff? This is where women are promoted to leadership roles, but only during times of crisis. They are thrown into a challenging situation where the cards are stacked, and then they are blamed for any failures that occur. Then, of course, there's the gender pay gap. Did you know that according to the United Nations, women earn 23% less than men globally? That's like saying every week my brother gets $10 pocket money and I only get $7.70 for doing the exact same things. This is not right. The way things are going, the UN says it could take 140 years for women to be represented equally in positions of power and leadership in the workforce. So, what can we do about it? In the world I want to live in, all women and men have equal access to opportunities, choices, capabilities, power, and knowledge. Thankfully, the UN Sustainable Development Goals are helping to bring about gender equality. They are shining a light on issues such as violence against women, women's health priorities, and equal representation in governments around the world. The UN are also supporting girls, just like me, to stay in school and receive a good education, with all the benefits that brings later in life. Here are a few remarkable women who are helping to make this brave new world happen. Malala Yousafzai, who became the youngest Nobel Prize winner for peace in 2014, and who continues to be a powerful advocate for girls' education. Greta Thunberg, who was a well-known environmental activist and founded Fridays for Future after sitting in front of the Swedish Parliament to protest the climate crisis. Kamala Harris, who was the first female Vice President of the United States. She famously said, "While I may be the first woman in this office, I won't be the last." These women have demonstrated resilience, leadership, and dedication to inspire others to pursue their goals, regardless of any barriers. So, in 20 years' time, when I'm running the Sydney Dance Company, there will be no ceilings, cliffs, or gaps for any of my employees. As Michelle Obama has said, gender equality is critical to the development and peace of every nation. When women and girls are given the opportunities they deserve, they are able to fulfill their potential, and that benefits everyone. Thank you.
So, our final speaker, would you like to introduce, please?
I would. Our final speaker today is Angelina, and she is from Malaysia, and her topic for her speech is, how do we end all forms of discrimination against girls?
Hi, my name is Angelina. I am 10 years old and I study at Seri-Ara International School. The topic for today will be how to stop discrimination against girls. There are 5 types of discrimination. First is direct discrimination. Second is indirect discrimination. Third is harassment. Fourth is victimization. And 5 is favoritism. Firstly, let's talk about direct discrimination. Direct discrimination includes not employing a woman because the employer thinks she will fit into a traditionally male place. Secondly, indirect discrimination. Indirect discrimination can be a minimum height requirement for a job where height is not relevant to carry out that role. Moving on, let's go to harassment. Harassment usually happens to women. As you can see on the paper, there's a guy sexually harassing a woman because she did something wrong. Harassment is when women's rights to walk around freely is restricted. Victimization. This this occurs when someone is disadvantaged or punished because they have complained that they saw someone harassing a victim. Favoritism is when people pick a boy over a girl because of their gender. I feel like the right solution for this is to speak up to the person who is offending you. Another solution can be by offering paid leave and childcare, supporting more women in senior roles. Third solution can be by strengthening legal protections. For example, a couple was going on a walk when the male hit the female because she did something wrong. That is abusing. In other words, domestic violence. Thank you for listening to my opinions on how to stop discrimination against girls. Have a good day. Thank you.
Well, I think we should give them all a big clap. Wasn't that just absolutely wonderful? And now our adjudicators have to leave and go to another Zoom link where the three of them will discuss who are the winners. But before that, could I just ask the girls to, when I call out your name, can you give us a wave, please, so we can see that you're here? Kamamoka. Gail. Stephanie.
Hello, everyone.
Elsa.
Hey.
Serene.
Hello, everyone.
Olivia. Angelina. So can I now go and ask the three adjudicators, Helen, Sinead, and Sue Young, to leave us? And I know they're going to have a very, very difficult time over the next 20 minutes. The adjudicators received all of the videos on Friday evening. So they've had yesterday to have a look at the videos and to do some of their marking. So they're now coming together to agree, and we're asking them to select number 1 and number 2. And then we will ask Sinead when she comes back if she will speak to us and just give some words of encouragement to the girls, and then we will announce the winners. So bye-bye, adjudicators.
Bye.
And good luck. So in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're just going to give you a little presentation about SI and a little presentation about the Commonwealth Business Women's Network. And I'm going to start off with sharing my screen again. And this has been a nightmare, let me tell you. But we will get there. I know we will. I have every faith. So today I'm wearing orange, and today my slides are in orange because the color orange is used to symbolize a brighter future for all and as a mean to demonstrate support in eliminating all forms of violence. It has been adopted by the 16 Days of Action campaign to show support in ending violence against women and girls. And this is a campaign that Seroptimists are involved in. It's 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, and it runs from the 25th of November and finishes today. The campaign aims to galvanise action to end violence against women and girls around the world. So as Seroptimists, we belong to one of 5 federations, and we in total have about 66,000 members across the world. We have federations in our clubs in 118 countries. SI is managed by a board of Seroptimists, and we have a top-down, bottom-up approach to advocacy. We are a non-profit organisation, and we are a global voice to empower, educate and enable women and girls across the world. We remain neutral upon matters of political controversy and religion, and we have many values. This is our vision, our mission, and our principles. Our vision is women and girls will achieve their individual and collective potential, realize aspirations, and have an equal voice in creating strong, peaceful communities worldwide. And I am sure you can see that vision coming out in those young girls today. Our mission is to transform the lives and status of women and girls through education, empowerment, and enabling opportunities. And we have values and principles, and we strive for the advancement of the status of women. We have high ethical standards. We believe in human rights for all people, equality, development, and peace, and the advancement of international goodwill, understanding, and peace. So how is Seroptimus International organised? So we have a number of strategic priorities. We advance the human rights and equality of women and girls through education empowerment through our global advocacy. We showcase our collective global impact through our global communications. We seek to unite Seroptimus globally to educate, empower, and enable women and girls through our Seroptimus International Foundation projects. We celebrate our collective global impact through our international convention, and in doing all of this, we hope to practice good governance through our governance policies and procedures. So, powers to promoting our strategic priorities in that we send representative delegates and observers to the UN and to other agencies. We hold or promote conferences, lectures, and seminars, such as the one we're doing today. We campaign and love our governments and other bodies upon issues of relevance to our objects, but remember, we retain strict party political and religious neutrality. And we publish and distribute information, advice, promote, or carry out research. So we have set up the Seroptimus International Foundation, and the objects are to promote the advancement of education, the improvement of health and saving lives, relief and/or prevention of poverty, the advancement of equality and diversity, and the improvement of human rights throughout the world. So our current projects within Seroptimus International Foundation are two. The one that you're listening to today, which was closed today, Visible and Vocal. It's a public speaking competition for girls aged 10 to 11 years of age. And I know that you've all been impressed by the girls today. And our other project at the moment is Women in or from War-Torn Countries, an education project to enable women to make a better life for themselves, their families, and their communities. And we're hoping to have a third one very early in the new year. So as I said earlier, SI holds the highest status that a non-governmental organization can have at the UN. We have general consultative status, and there are only 142 organizations who hold this status, and only 4 of those focus on women and girls, and we are one of them. And that is why our aim is to be the best, but we also want to make sure that we fight and we advocate for all of the rights for women and girls across the world. So we have 19 UN Seroptimus across 7 centres who focus on SDG 4, education, and SDG 5, which is gender equality. They take part in conventions, conferences, and seminars at the UN, and they campaign and lobby with member states for the rights of women and girls. And in doing so, they publish the information that they gain as blogs on our international website. So where are we at the UN? Well, we're in New York, where we have 5 representatives. We're in Geneva, where we have 3. In Vienna, where we have 4. In Paris, where we have 3. We have 1 representative in Rome, 3 representatives in Nairobi, and 1 representative in Bangkok. So you can see we span right across the world, and these are our UN representatives here along the bottom. So their role is to link SI, the federations, the clubs, and other international organizations. They advocate and lobby governments and member states at the different centers to take action. They ensure that your voices and the voices of other women and girls are included in international decision-making. And they seek to transfer the knowledge that they gain and the knowledge that is gained through SI projects. So it's a two-way street, up to the member states and down to the clubs, to guide international policy decisions, highlighting that all UN activities have a duty to mainstream gender. They have an influence of a local to global collective voice at the international stage, and they recognise that civil society has a key role in discussions and decisions made at the UN. We have an immense knowledge. You, I, and all Seroptimists right across the world have a fantastic understanding and knowledge that we can take through our projects at club, region, and federation levels to the member states and to the UN. And that is what the UN representatives do when they showcase your projects at any of the meetings or events that they attend on your behalf. We are the largest global intergovernmental policy-making body exclusively dedicated to promoting gender equality and the empowerment of women through our attendance at CSW 68, which is next March. And this is a yearly convention that is held in New York City. They monitor the progress of what's going on with regards to all of the many issues that affect women and girls. And they enter into discussions by the member states, the international organizations, and civil society. This is how you can get in touch with SI. We have a website, we have Twitter, we are on Instagram, and we have also the Seroptimist Lab, which unfortunately is only available if you're a Seroptimist, but any of the others you can go on to at any time. It's open to the public. And I just want to leave you with a video. So ladies, thank you so much for listening to that. That was just a show of a video that we actually produced and had at our convention on the launch of our new emblem that we have put into progress this year. I'm now going to call on Arif, who's going to tell you a little bit about the Commonwealth Business Women's Network, because this was a joint collaboration between Seroptimus International and the Commonwealth Business Women's Network. So Arif, over to you.
Thank you very much, Maureen. And I'm just going to begin. I think we have a video ready, which will just play you initially, Maureen, if you're able to do that from your end. We'll begin with that first. Thank you. So thank you very much for that video, Maureen, for playing that. So the Commonwealth Business Women's Network, I'm going to just spend a few minutes explaining to you about the Commonwealth Business Women's Network. And I'm really going to do this by way of an initial short story. In 1997, the heads of the Commonwealth came together. They actually came together in Edinburgh in the UK. And there was a feeling at that meeting and a recognition of that meeting that one of the things that coming out of that should be an opportunity to work much more closely with companies and the private sector to address the sustainable development goals and all of the work that really encompasses. In fact, at that time, it was called the Millennium Development Goals. But at that meeting, there were some very inspirational leaders. President Mandela, Nelson Mandela was there as the president of South Africa at that meeting, and he was amongst the most vocal in saying that we can't achieve the things we want to achieve in terms of poverty and health and climate change and all of the things that we identify as important for development if we don't involve and work with the private sector. We work with companies across the Commonwealth to achieve that. And so the establishment of the Commonwealth Business Council was an outcome of that meeting. In fact, the very first president, the very first chair of the Commonwealth Business Council, who was nominated by Nelson Mandela, President Mandela, was Cyril Ramaphosa. Now, Cyril Ramaphosa is currently the president of South Africa. And he was the first chair of the Commonwealth Business Council. And very, very soon after they were established in 1997, very, very soon afterwards, within about 3 or 4 years, I think it was in 2002, there was a very strong recognition that there needs to be a Commonwealth Business Women's Network. So the business community of the Commonwealth, which had been set up by the heads of government, and the Commonwealth Business Council, which had come into being, jointly felt that what was needed was to have a strong community to bring together women from across the Commonwealth countries. And that was therefore the establishment in 2002 of the Commonwealth Business Women's Network. It operated as a program of the Commonwealth Business Council for about, until 2014. And it did a number of very important initiatives in that period. For example, after the civil war in Sierra Leone in Africa, they organized one of the largest meetings that brought together women to look at how to build a post-conflict society after the civil war in Sierra Leone. They did training, particularly to support women in international trade, in exhibitions and training programs in all different parts of the Commonwealth. And then in 2014, the Commonwealth Business Women's Network, well, there was a change in the Commonwealth Business Council, so they changed their name to what is now called the Commonwealth Enterprise Investment Council. And it was felt that this was the right time for the Commonwealth Business Women's Network to stand on its own feet and to be directly recognized by all the governments of the Commonwealth, not as part of another organization, not as part of the Commonwealth Business Council, but on its own right and in its own terms. And so then in 2014, the Commonwealth Business Women's Network was established as a separate legal entity. It's a community interest company. It applied for this direct recognition by all the Commonwealth governments, which it received in record time, and it's been operating since then on that basis. So it is recognized by Lights for Optimists International. It's recognized by all the Commonwealth member governments. Our focus is particularly in the area of women's economic empowerment. Now, there are 4 priorities that the Commonwealth has established when the Commonwealth Secretary General, Patricia Scotland, the first woman, incidentally, to be Secretary General. When she became Secretary General, she worked very closely with the Commonwealth Business Women's Network in particular in helping to establish what these priorities would be. And there was a big Women Leaders Summit that was held in London. And out of that process emerged the 4 gender priorities of the Commonwealth. And in no particular order of priority, they are the following. Number 1, women's economic empowerment. Number 2, women in leadership. And incidentally, all forms of leadership, not just political leadership, business leadership, leadership in all walks of life. thirdly, violence against women, and fourthly, gender and climate change. And this was in 2016. And I just, as I mentioned earlier, I just come myself back from a Commonwealth delegation at the Climate Change UN conference, which is still going on in Dubai. And I was very pleased to be on a panel over there organized by another Commonwealth accredited organization, Rotary International, that talked about, there was a whole day focused around gender and climate change. So those are the four gender priorities. And so we work in all those areas, but in particular, the Commonwealth Business Women's Network focuses on women's economic empowerment and women in leadership. So we are a free to join community. Anybody can be part of our community. You simply go to our website, which is cbwn.org. We were the first Commonwealth organization to have an app for as a community app. So anybody can access that simply with their email address, registering on our website. And our focus, what do? We talk about the 3 T's, which are trade, talent, and trading. So, for example, we organize business women to go on missions to other countries together to look at trade opportunities. And we've been doing those for a number of years to a whole range of different countries. We also celebrate women's achievement in the fields of business. And so often when the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting takes place, we also have the Commonwealth Business Women Awards, which celebrates and acknowledges the achievement of women in different fields of business. And then we also do, in the area of trade, we particularly support women to work across borders. One of the things that there's been a very important recognition of in recent years is what's often referred to as the Commonwealth advantage, by which I mean the reduced cost of doing business if any 2 Commonwealth countries do business with each other. So, for example, if we were talking about Malaysia and Pakistan versus Malaysia and Thailand, for example, or the UK and Rwanda versus the UK and Ethiopia. The point here is any of those 2 countries that are Commonwealth countries, like Rwanda and the UK or Pakistan or Malaysia, all those countries, there is a 19% reduced cost of doing business between those 2 countries. Now, you may wonder, why is that the case and how do we know? Well, if you think about it, the laws are very similar. The laws for doing business in those countries, to set up a business, even to work with a business partner. Often the education systems are very similar, and there's often stronger links as well in terms of culture, language, and indeed areas like sport as well with the Commonwealth Games. So all of these things make a big difference in helping to build relationships, which are very important in the world of business. And then helping you then to, on the basis of those relationships, develop business opportunities and work together. So that's really the Commonwealth advantage. And so what we are about at the Commonwealth Business Women's Network, I'm the only man involved, but we have our chair you heard from earlier, Frida Merklis from Australia. She was formerly the international president of the International Federation of Business and Professional Women. We also have a board with women from different Commonwealth countries. We have an international advisory group which draws in women from every part of the Commonwealth. These are leading women that have been experienced in different areas, whether it's leading in the Commonwealth or in the UN or elsewhere. And then we also have a number of expert advisors. We have around 30 of these expert advisors in areas like digital health, digital trade, procurement, etc. So these are all people that we turn to who give us advice. So what do we do in terms of our approach? It's really one of the key things that we work to do is to bring the voices of women from business to the table when Commonwealth governments meet. And the Commonwealth has a number of regular meetings of not just the heads of government, but often of ministers, ministers of sport, of education, of technology, women's affairs ministers, ministers of the youth, ministers of trade, ministers of health, and many others. And with all those ones, we have been, the Commonwealth Business Women's Network has been probably the most active in bringing women to those meetings to ensure that the perspective of women, particularly who are working in the field of business, is brought into those discussions and meetings. And we do that through meeting with government representatives, sometimes producing guidance and policy papers for those meetings, and sometimes working together with other organizations that are experts in particular areas, often Commonwealth organizations, to get those points across. And we are delighted, let me just close by saying that we're delighted to have this opportunity to work with Sir Optimus International, to really focus on the area of girls. And certainly in the period of COVID, we did a lot of work in that area. We organized the first ever international meeting focusing on women in what we can refer to as emerging areas of technology, like fintech and fashion tech. And this is technology coming together with all these traditional areas like agriculture and fashion and education and finance, etc. And out of that, we've been doing a lot more work on the area of digital skills, where we've been working with the mobile phone industry body GSMA to work on digital skills for both girls, so girls in school, indeed from the ages of 10 and upwards, but also for women in the early stages of their career. And certainly as we move forward, we're very keen to build on that momentum going forward to the next Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, which will be held next October in Samoa in the Pacific, at which the President of Rwanda, who we heard from the Rwanda government earlier in this call today, the baton will be passed to the Prime Minister of Samoa, who is a woman. So we'll have a woman as the next chair of the Commonwealth. So I'll just close with that and pass back to Maureen. Thank you very much, Maureen.
Thank you, Arif. That was very interesting, and thank you for bringing us up to date with everything that you do within the Commonwealth Business Women's Network. I think that we have the adjudicators back. I'm just going to put on gallery so that I can see more people. So Sinead, can I ask you to give us some overview of what you were looking for and how the candidates met what you were looking for?
Absolutely, Maureen. Thank you so much. Really delighted to be here from a very, very rainy Northern Ireland at the moment. So what we were looking for was someone to catch our attention. We wanted someone to have a presence about them and a lovely, gentle confidence. In terms of content, we were looking for someone to persuade us with a subject that they cared passionately about. These subjects are very topical at the moment, and they're very, very complex. It's very important that whenever a speaker presents a speech, that they understand what they're saying in terms of the structure, the language that they're using, and the way they put it across. The other adjudicators and I had a very, very difficult job, and we were indeed ourselves being very vocal and very visible in our own private meeting. So in terms of a general overview of what we have heard from these wonderful girls, and you all did exceptionally well, you all have a natural knack for storytelling. And isn't that such a wonderful technique to have for a speaker? You really made it your own. There was nothing cut and paste about it. It was very, very personal. You all had a great confidence. You made great eye contact with your audience, and you really made us believe what you were saying, because credibility is the cornerstone of being a very powerful speaker. Oh, sorry. Oh, apologies. Okay. I thought I was... Okay, yes, Maureen, thank you. So, would you like me to move on to the winners?
Yes. I would like you to announce them in reverse order. And before you do, I would like to say that we have everyone will get a prize from today. So whether you're in the top 3 or not, you will all receive something. So in third place, our winner in third place will receive an amount of money of £50, British pounds. So Sinead, please announce number 3.
Number 3 is Olivia.
Congratulations, Olivia. Well done. Can we then announce, and that is a donation of £50 has been given by a seroptimist. Our second prize is a donation of £75. And who is our runner-up?
The runner-up is Gail.
Congratulations, Gail. Unfortunately, we can't hear all the clapping. And our overall winner, who is receiving a tablet, which has been very kindly donated by the travel agent who has done all of my travel during my 2 years as president, which is Oasis Travel in Lisburn. So Sandra, I would like to, who is the owner of Oasis Travel, I would like to say a big, big thank you. And also the winner will also get a donation of £100, which has been donated by a seroptimist as well. So our winner is?
The winner today is Stephanie.
Yay! Congratulations, Stephanie. And well done to everyone, even those who have not been placed. Can I just say that you're all winners in our eyes. You have reached this, therefore you are a winner. And I just think it's absolutely marvelous that you have taken part in this competition. It's an international competition. It's something that can go onto your CV for years and years and years. And I just want to say a big, big thank you. So in rounding up, we do have some certificates, and I'll let you see a copy of the first prize certificate. And we did have one for third prize, but unfortunately I haven't got it up. So that was the second prize certificate, and first and third will have the same sort of certificates. Now I'll probably not be able to get out of here. And I just want to close today by saying a few words. This has been a fabulous event, and you know that education has been my passion throughout, well, practically all my life, because I believe that education is one of the things that can just change your life forever. But it's a great event, and it has certainly showcased what the Seroptimus International Foundation can do to assist and support women and girls around the world. So Seroptimus, I want you to continue donating to it. We need your fundraising to make Seroptimus International Foundation something that we can all be exceptionally proud of. And, you know, if we all stand together, we all say we stand up for women and we're a global voice for women, we can make a difference through this foundation. So a few thank yous to our sponsors, to Oasis Travel, and to those Seroptimus who have donated money. I don't want to embarrass them by saying who they are, but I just want to say a big, big thank you to them. To the competitors for stepping forward and taking part in this competition. That took a lot of courage, and you did so, so well. To your teachers and schools, thank you for supporting and helping the girls taking part in the competition. To the parents for supporting your daughters, I know that you are very proud parents today, and I know that your daughters will go far in their careers. To the clubs who have held the competitions, thank you. We could not have done this competition without you. To the Federation presidents, thank you for your support. Adjudicators Helen, Sinead and Sue Young, you had a really difficult job today. Thank you for making it a success. And I have to thank the staff at SIHQ, and particularly to Joe Mason, who worked so hard at adding the videos to the presentation. He has really worked so hard at getting this, and it did work so well. So I have to say a big thank you to him. Now, where was I? To my colleagues at SI, at CBWN, to Sue, to Pat, to Arif and Frida, thank you. To Joseph, the councillor at the Commonwealth from Rwanda, thank you for your kind words on opening our event today. Can I also say a big thank you to Margaret Emsley, who has supported me in getting the Zoom links open and closed and all the rest, so thank you to that. To you, the attendees, without you, And I know that you've been very busy today because the 10th of December is when we celebrate the end of our 16 days of action. And I know that you're all hopping off to go to other things. So thank you for supporting the event. And can we end this International Day of Human Rights, and in the spirit of service and friendship, let us commit ourselves as Seroptimists to creating a better, more resilient, more sustainable, safe and equal world for all women and girls. Thank you all for attending, and goodbye.
Bye. Well done, Stephanie.
Congratulations
Bye.
to
Well done.
all. Congratulations.
Should we get a picture, Maureen, before we all disperse on the screen?
Congratulations, Stephanie.
Well, if you take it very quickly, Arif, you can.
Okay, can someone take a picture of the screen before we disperse? Maybe Pat or someone?
I'll do that. Not a problem. Stephanie, I hope you're smiling. You're still tearful. So,
Elise, thank you very much for all your help, please.
Done.
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm so thankful that my voice was heard, and I am just so grateful as of right now.
We'll be in touch with all of the winners and with all of the girls next week.
Well done. Thank you.
I think
Thank you,
all of you
everyone.
take your mutes off and let's all give them a big clap.
You can all unmute yourself and give a big clap.
Well done. Well done.